Out of the gates and ready to go. Welcome into this live edition of the Kansas City Chiefs Report, powered by Chat Sports. Tyler Schultz here with you. So glad to have you with us as it is playoff time in Kansas City. Your Kansas City Chiefs set to take on the Houston Texans this Saturday. We got a loaded show ahead as we'll preview that matchup coming up later on. We're also going to let you hear from Travis Kelce as he went on the Pat McAfee Show earlier this week. We'll react to that. Also got an injury update on Jaylen Watson we'll get to, and we'll do a Q&A mailbag. All that and more coming up in just a matter of moments. Go ahead and start getting your questions in now. Use hashtag Chiefs or Super Chat to get on today's program. As you guys file in, shout out your city. We'll shout you out as we get this show off and rolling. We're excited, finally. Playoff time, folks. It's win or go home. I can't wait. And we're going to be live for it all, of course, on Saturday. I'll be here. Big Tex will be here. Big Tex is going to join me in a moment. Shout out your city. Let us know where you're watching from. We're coming at you from the Chat Sports Studios here in downtown Dallas, Texas on this fine Tuesday afternoon. I got Paul in Tongi checking in. We got Tony in El Paso saying, yo. He also says that his birthday's coming up on Friday. Happy early birthday to you, Tony. And Tony also wants to let Big Tex know he got leg day taken care of on his birthday week. So, hey, you know, birthdays, holidays are no excuse to not get your workout in still, Tony. You got the right idea. Got Duff in OKC, Oklahoma, checking in. Got Philip in Knoxville. I got Santos in Brazil. I got Rio in Raytown. Scott in KC. Long live Kings Patty in Stevens Point, Wisconsin. Matthews in Warrensburg, Missouri. That's where UCM is, Central Missouri. The Mules, I think I got that right. I've been to that stadium. I called a high school game there once. I got Elmo in Joplin. I got David Buck, no relation to Joe Buck as far as we know, in San Antonio. Got Hat-Trick in New Zealand. Richard in Wakini, Kansas. Newton in Jacksonville, Florida. Got J-Mo in Michigan. Got Brandon in Columbia, Missouri. Hot Lap says he's already got his plane tickets and rooms for the parade and celebration. Love to hear it. Love to hear that. I got, who else? Hot Laps in Moorhead, Minnesota. Jacob checking in from the Dot in Wyandotte County in KCK. Got David in Windsor, Missouri. Got Don in New York. A lot of people here. Appreciate y'all joining us here on this Tuesday. Will the Chiefs repeat? Will they go back to back to back as Super Bowl champions? Let us know. Y for yes, N for no. It is prediction time. Is it going to happen? I'll be honest. I've been checking the comments. Oh, I do. That looks good. I've been checking the comments the last few days, and I'm a little surprised. There are a lot of doubters within the Chiefs kingdom that don't think that the Chiefs are going to repeat. I got a lot of people saying the Chiefs aren't even going to win against the Texans this week. Where's the faith? Where's the belief, my friends? Where are we at? Sounds like everybody today is saying it, except Long Live King Patty says trying to jinx it. Okay, that's fine. David saying yes. Tony saying yes. Jacob saying yes. Don saying yes. Richard saying yes. Duff says hell yeah. Okay. That's more like it. That's the confidence I was looking for, folks. I've seen too many doubters the last couple days. Hopefully that changes. Sounds like we got the right mojo on our side now as I look through the chat today. Duff and David and Paul and others all saying yes. That's good. That's very good. All right, before we go any further in today's show, let me read this from Gina real quick. Do you want me to ask out my crush, Chiefs Report? Why not? Worst they can say is no. Sure. Tony's single. Is Tony your crush, Gina? Very cute. Let us know. Yeah, might as well. What do you have to lose? Worst thing to say is no. All right. Before we go any further in the program, let's tell you about our sponsors. Let's begin with Game Time. Game Time is the place to go for the best seats, the lowest prices guaranteed. Whether you're looking for tickets to sporting events, concerts, theater productions, comedy shows, and more, Game Time's got you covered. Game Time is a new feature called Game Time Picks that makes getting tickets for events even easier. Game Time Picks filters out the fluff to show you only incredible deals and great seats, so you don't have to waste time searching through thousands of tickets to find the best value. They have their super deals. You see a super deal. You don't want to pass up on that. They also have their seat views and get the visual, see what that seat is like. And on top of that, my friends, they also have their customize your spot feature where you can find the seat best suited for you. Let's say you want to go to a Chiefs playoff game or another event in Kansas City. They got those. Just choose the event you want to go to, choose your seat, and then you're checking out just like that on Apple Pay, Google Pay, Venmo, all major credit card providers. Download the Game Time app, create an account, use code ChatSports for $20 off your first purchase. Terms apply. Again, create an account and redeem code CHATSPORTS for $20 off. Download Game Time today. Last minute tickets, lowest prices guaranteed. The link is in the comments and the description of today's video. Game Time, proud partner of the Kansas City Chiefs Report. We are also sponsored by our friends at Prize Picks. Prize Picks, have you heard? It's the place to go for daily fantasy made easy. Choose 2 or more players in any given category. Get the choice of more or less, whether you're talking fantasy points in football, rebounds in basketball, goals in hockey, all sorts of different categories to choose from. Go to prizepicks.com/CLNS, promo code CLNS, and you can win up to 1,000 times your money at prizepicks.com/CLNS. And on top of that, Prize Picks right now, folks, when you play $5, they will give you $50 to play for free. You don't even have to win to get the money. This week on Prize Picks, looking ahead to this weekend's action, give me Patrick Mahomes to have more than 250.5 passing yards. I got Pacheco to have more than 42.5 rushing yards, and Joe Mixon to have less than 60.5 rushing yards. Go to prizepicks.com/CLNS, promo code CLNS. Prize Picks, proud partner of the Kansas City Chiefs Report. Prize Picks, run your game. There you go. How about that for an ad read, folks? You fired up. You buying the Game Time tickets. You playing Prize Picks. You better be after those ad reads I delivered you, folks. I'm quite the salesman, if I'd say so myself. All right. Yes, Tex. Yes. All right. So, Tex says to keep y'all entertained, if you would like a shout-out from Big Tex in about 30 seconds from right now, I need y'all to spam C in the chat. I want to see as many C's as we can over this next minute. And we already got 80 people watching, which is not bad. But I know there's more people out there that need to join us and be a part of today's program. So get those C's in the chat. Tex will give some shout-outs. Hot Laps has got the right idea. He says spam in the chat. Get those C's going, and let's set the chat rate record. And Tex will give the shout-outs here in just a bit. I'm already seeing people like A Supreme, David Buck, Tony, Jacob, Hot Laps, Marlene, just to name a few. We got plenty more, but let's get the tone set early. I want you guys to take over this chat as if you're in your seats at Arrowhead Stadium. If you're ready for Saturday, if you're ready for a win on Saturday for a Super Bowl title, go ahead and start getting the C's in the chat. And Big Tex, who will join us for the first time today, will shout you guys out and get this party started. We're going up on a Tuesday here on the Kansas City Chiefs Report. Me and the Kingdom, Big Tex, glad that we can be here with y'all. And hopefully we have a fantastic day today because playoff football is here. I cannot be more excited about it. And we're pleased to bring it to you, and we're going to be live, of course, on Saturday for that Chiefs and Texans game. There is Big Tex, not a Texans fan for the record. He's a Chiefs guy. He's one of us. Big Tex.
That's right. Let's go Chiefs.
We got a minute on the clock. Let's start giving the shout-outs to all the Kingdom. Who's here today, Tex?
Let's get it. Tony, Paul, Tony, David, Paul, David. Hot Laps. Good stuff, Tony. You got your leg day in. No excuses. David, Andrew, Richard, David, Tony, Richard, Paul, David, Tony. I'm only seeing Paul, David, Tony, and Richard. Let's get some more names in there. Come on. Spam C. Don't let me beat you. I'm going to beat you. Big Tech's going to beat you and give you shout-outs. Let's go. David, Supreme, Corey, Tony, David, Paul, A Supreme, Richard, Corey. There we go. We get some new people. What's up, Supreme? Richard, Matthew. That's a new one. Duff. That's a new one. Let's go. Don't be shy. Big Tex is giving shout-outs. You want a shout-out from Big Tex? Spam C. Paul, Hot Laps, Richard, Corey. There we go. Picking up the pace. Let's go. Richard, Tony, Corey, Hot Laps, Paul, Tony, Paul, David, Duff, Timothy, Corey, Paul, Tony, Hot, David, Hot Laps, Matthew, good name. David, Paul, Jeremy, Paul, Matthew, great name. Hot Laps, Duff, Hot Laps, David, Tony, Richard, David, Tony, Matthew. When I say great name, it's because my name's Matthew. Don't get confused.
10 seconds.
Tony, Paul, David, Matthew, Hot Laps, Richard, Tony, Paul, Jeremy,
5,
Corey,
4,
Hot Laps,
3,
Richard, Brandon,
2,
Hot Laps, Duff,
1.
Richard, Tony, Hot Laps, good stuff.
A lot of people. A lot of
yeah.
people in here. And the audience went up. We're up to over 100 people here. You guys did it. It worked. Good stuff. Appreciate y'all being here and making it happen today. Yes, much appreciated. So, now the next part of the show. We need you to hit the like button. I'm at 32 likes right now. We need to get to 50 to get today's show started. Like the video if you want a win against the Texans, if you're glad to be hanging out here on the Chiefs Report, having free live Chiefs coverage, hanging out with y'all, hit that like button. And when you like the video, let me know in the chat. I'll shout you out. But I need 50 to get today's show started. David says, I listened to your call on the Houston and Chiefs game while driving to Houston, and every time you yell Hollywood, I jumped up. My wife looked at me all confused. Hollywood! There you go. You like that? You like that. 40 likes, 10 more. 10 more. 10 more. Tex, you got any pouches today? What do we got today? Ooh. Do you have one in yourself? Oh, good. So we're on the same page. So today, the Big Tex. He's not just Big Tex. He's the Big Tex. The Big Tex has provided me. We always in for wins around here. We got Zen Spearmint, the 6. I don't think. Oh, and with the green screen, it makes it look red. This is actually a green can, but you get the idea. So with Zens, I don't think they've offered 9s yet. I think in Sweden they have them, not in the U.S. I imagine that day will come
Someday.
but at least for now, we have to settle for the 6s.
True.
On the Zens.
The Swedish are spoiled.
Yeah. I have had the Swedish versions.
Oh yeah, you like them?
Oh yes, they were very good, very strong.
Very strong.
Trace Gerard, friend of the show, he somehow got a hold of some Swedish ones and let me try one. Yeah, they got a little extra kick, a little extra oomph. What do we got today, chat? Are we zenning? Are we smoking? Are we drinking? What do we got in the hand today? We eating a little late lunch, early dinner? What's everybody doing today? Tony says I don't drink beer. Good for you, Tony. Good for you, Tony. I drink beer because I need to for my job. I'm just kidding. I do drink beer at home, but I'm no alcoholic. I could promise you that much. One more, then we can get today's show started. Do we have a trash can anywhere? It's probably best if I throw my gum in the trash and not leave it in my pocket, Oh, perfect. Yeah. David's having a pot roast for dinner. That sounds good. Amy says, go Chiefs, having beer and barbecue chicken. Can't go wrong with that. Matthew says, I only drink beer when I watch the Chiefs. Hey, whatever works. Whatever works. What kind of beer do we drink when we watch the Chiefs? Duff says, sober as a preacher. Okay. Tony says, it's all right. When we drink, we score. We drink, we win. All drinks. All drinks included. I know that Tony's a big sweet tea guy. David loves some old fashions. Can't go wrong with that. That's pretty good stuff there. We did reach 50 likes. Amy's got a Michelob Ultra Light. Aren't all Michelob Ultras light beer? Yes, that's very good. All right. We've reached 50-plus likes, so now we can get today's show started. Here's what's coming up, news and rumors. I got a double dose of good news to get to here in just a bit. Also, we're going to let you hear from Travis Kelce what he had to say on the Pat McAfee Show. I love the Pat McAfee Show. Dun, 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 dun. Football! Yeah! You guys know. Kelce on McAfee. We'll have that for you in just a bit. Text. Spacebar. There we go. Kelce on McAfee. We'll get to that in just a bit. Also, we'll preview the Chiefs matchup against the Houston, Texas. And then we will do a Q&A mailbag. Let me reply to this message. I got a girl asking me out, so I got to respond, like, yes. Sorry, y'all. Very important stuff there, like, hey, you got a girl asking you out, I got to respond, she asked me out, I say yes, of course. So some, yeah, they called me off guard. I'm in a very good mood, as you could probably tell. All right, so that's what's coming up on today's show. Also, we get the mailbag. We need your questions. Use hashtag Chiefs or Super Chat to get on the mailbag portion of today's show. Super Chat menu is also what we have offering. First-time Super Chatters, you get the KC chant. $5, we'll do the Mahomes song. $10, we'll take some shots. $20, we'll get Bean Boozled with the spicy jelly bean. And we'll do a beer bong as well. $50, do that beer bong. So stay tuned for that. $sign next to chat box if you want to contribute. I don't care if we get $1, $5, $50. We'll go crazy with the first super chat that comes in of the night. So stay clear for that. Don't miss out as we will bring that to you coming up later on. So more to come. Plenty of big show ahead. Glad to have you with us here on the Kansas City Chiefs Report. Our first segment. Let's get to our news and rumors, and we'll go from there as we get rolling here on today's show. Tyler Jones, Big Tex here with you. Glad to have you with us. News and rumors starts right now. The Kansas City Chiefs get a double dose of good news. One involves Jaylen Watson. The other, you'll have to stay tuned and find out coming up in just a bit. We'll explain more here on today's show. Tyler Jones, your fearless leader here with you. Thanks for joining us. Before we go any further, though, folks, in the lead-up between now and kickoff against the Houston Texans this Saturday, we are doing a sub-battle with our guy Jeremy Chuggs over at Texans Today. We want to see which channel can gain the most subscribers this week. We don't want to just beat the Texans on the football field. We want to beat them off the football field as well and show why we have the best fans in the National Football League. Sub for dubs. YouTube.com/Chiefs TV. We'll be live for the Chiefs-Texans game coming up this weekend. We're going to continue bringing you our daily news and rumors, live shows, mailbags, breaking news, and more, all right here on the Kansas City Chiefs Report. Subscribe now for free. You'll be glad you did. All right, let's start with the first dose in a double dose of good news. Quarterback Jaylen Watson activated from injured reserve. They've opened up the 21-day window, and according to Chiefs head coach Andy Reid, Watson could return as early as this week against the Houston Texans. Let's go. Here's more from Andy. I kind of want to see this week and see how he does, but from what I've seen so far, it's been good. It's been in good shape. I'm not telling you he can play a whole game, but I think he has a chance of playing. We'll see. And it is worth noting that Watson did practice on Tuesday, so that is huge for his status. This is big for the Kansas City Chiefs. And I'll sit here and say, I don't know how much he plays, whether it's the full game, whether it's a small sample size. Maybe they just want to test him out a little bit. Whatever it may be. Some of Jaylen Watson out there is better than nothing at all. That is huge for this Kansas City Chiefs team because you think about this, all right? Let's say that you get him out there even just a little bit this week. You would have to think if you beat the Texans that he would be full speed for the following week in the AFC Championship. So all things are progressing towards the right direction for a player that many thought just a few weeks ago his season was done, that we would not even see him again in 2024/25. You get the idea. Even if he plays a small amount, that is big for this Kansas City Chiefs team because we have seen since he went down, the corner position has been a tremendous liability for the Kansas City Chiefs. And if he can be out there, that's so much better than not having him out there at all. He is a big difference maker as far as that goes. You look at what Watson did prior to the injury. Only allowed a completion percentage of 53.6%. He also only allowed 192 yards in that 6-game stretch. No touchdowns were given up. He had 4 pass breakups. And his passer rating allowed was pretty good too. 75.3. Watson, before the injury, was having the best season of his career so far. And the stats don't tell the full story, but this was a difference maker. And I think what we saw in the fall-off showed just how good Jaylen Watson was playing for this Kansas City Chiefs team, and this is going to be big to potentially have him back this weekend in some capacity. What is that capacity? That remains to be seen, but I'd rather take some than nothing. That's for damn sure. Do you believe in Jaylen Watson? What do you guys think? It's our pinned comment today. Type B for believe, D for don't. Chime in on our pinned comment today, weigh in, and let us know what you think. We'll go over the second half of the double dose of good news in just a moment. But first, let's tell you about today's sponsor. That is Game Time. Game Time is the place to go for the best seats, the lowest prices guaranteed. Whether you're looking for tickets to sporting events, concerts, theater productions, comedy shows, and more, Game Time has got you covered. Game Time has a new feature called Game Time Picks that makes getting tickets for events even easier. Game Time Picks filters out the fluff to show you only incredible deals on great seats, so you don't have to waste time searching through thousands of tickets to find the best value. They have their super deals. If you see a super deal, that's a deal you don't want to pass up on. They also have their seat views and get the visual, see what that seat is like. You can customize your spot as well. Whether you're looking for tickets for this weekend's game in the AFC divisional round to see your Kansas City Chiefs, or for a potential AFC championship game, or other events around Kansas City, Game Time is the place to go. And I can say this from personal experience. I have saved a lot of money on Game Time, specifically when I've waited to the last minute and the prices go down, and you can save big with Game Time too. Download the Game Time app, create an account, use code ChatSports for $20 off your first purchase. Terms apply. Again, create an account, redeem code CHATSPORTS for $20 off. Download Game Time today. Last minute tickets, lowest prices guaranteed. The link is in the comments and the description of today's video. Now, for part 2 in our double dose of good news for the Kansas City Chiefs, the NFL has announced that official Clay Martin will be the head referee for the Chiefs' AFC divisional round matchup against the Houston Texans. And I got to tell you, I'm a big fan of Clay Martin. I think he's a fantastic official. And not only are we talking about getting one of the best and not having to deal with, like, Carl Cheffers, for example, who I know Chiefs fans can't stand. But on top of that, folks, you're getting a guy that has a good track record when it comes to officiating Kansas City Chiefs games. Listen to this. The Chiefs are 6-0 all-time in games officiated by Clay Martin, including the one game he did this year back on November 29th when the Chiefs beat the Las Vegas Raiders 19-17. Clay Martin, he's a fascinating individual, by the way. I don't know how many people know his backstory. He is an administrator at Jenks High School in Oklahoma, just outside of Tulsa, my hometown. So Clay and I got that connection there. He's the athletics director there. He used to be the high school basketball coach. He was a principal there. So he's got a lot going on. He's staying busy off the football field at his day job there in Jenks, Oklahoma. He was quite the basketball player, too. He's in the Hall of Fame at Oklahoma Baptist University, as he was a very good basketball player. He's also in the Hall of Fame at Tulsa Public Schools as well, where he came from there in T-Town. And I got to say, I think Clay Martin's my favorite official in the NFL. And when I look at Clay Martin, the thing that he does a good job of is just being fair. And he is fair to the teams that he officiates. And that's what we're looking for. And I'll explain more on that here in just a bit. Listen to this. More on Clay Martin of what he's done this season in the National Football League, folks. In games officiated by Martin in 2024, The home team has received about 45.32% of penalties. That's 4%, the league average when it comes to penalty total. So what that tells me is the Chiefs being at home have a little bit of an edge when it comes to having Clay Martin as their official compared to somebody else. Now, we will not sit here and deny that based on history, having Clay Martin officiate this game is a very good thing for the Kansas City Chiefs. History tells us as much, that he does a good job with the games that the Chiefs are a part of. We won't sit here and deny that. Now, you look even the last playoff game he did with the Kansas City Chiefs, the 2021 divisional round, when the Chiefs beat the Cleveland Browns. He officiated that game as well, a 22-17 win against the Cleveland Browns. There's this theory that's been floating around the National Football League circles for 2+ seasons now, that the Chiefs get all the calls, that everything's rigged, everything's scripted, they're trying to help out Taylor Swift's favorite football team and all that. All those claims are just absurd. I could argue that the Buffalo Bills get just as many, if not more, calls than the Kansas City Chiefs get. All right? I'm not going to sit here and buy any of the crap that people put out there that the league's in bed with the Kansas City Chiefs. All I'm asking for is not for Clay Martin to give the Chiefs an advantage. I'm not asking for Clay Martin to be biased towards the Kansas City Chiefs, and I don't think he will be. What he will be is fair. I can guarantee you that much. That's all we're asking for. And to me, that's a big deal for the Kansas City Chiefs, because on any given Sunday, when they go mano-a-mano with any team in the league, they are the better team. And on paper, they should win every time they take the football field. I don't think Clay Martin is going to get in the way of the Chiefs' success. In fact, he actually should make things better for Kansas City. Who's your favorite official in the NFL, by the way? I want to know. Weigh in the comments section and tell me who comes to mind. I was a big fan of Ed Hockley back in the day with the guns, looking like big techs out there. Sean Hockley's another good one, too. Can't stand Carl Cheffers. Give me your favorite NFL official in the comments section. Weigh in and let us know. For continuing Chiefs coverage, subscribe now to the Kansas City Chiefs Report. I'm Tyler Jones. Thanks for joining us. We'll see you next time. All right. Who is your favorite official in the NFL? Tex, did you like the Ed Hockley Big Tex comparison? Is that a fair comp for you? If you were a ref, you'd be Ed Hockley?
I like that. I like that. I was going to say player comp. I like that referee comp for me. Yeah. He was it always was bewildering to me to see him on TV, and I was like, that dude sticks out compared to all the other officials. I mean, he seems like a bodybuilder. But, yeah, he was yoked. So I like the comparison.
He always had a good sense of humor. Ed Hockley knew the cameras were on.
Oh, for sure.
There are penalties in the Pro Bowl.
Penalties in the Pro Bowl.
Yes.
Ed Hockley.
Yes. Very true.
I do find it very ironic that Gene Steratore is now a rules analyst for CBS, and he actually does a pretty good job, because he was the ref that was behind the infamous Des Bryant caught it or didn't catch it moment. In which he obviously very screwed up there. Who is your favorite official? G. Brew says, me on the couch. Cole says Bill Vinovich. I cannot stand Bill Vinovich. That's another one that I hate. I think Bill is terrible. Let's see. Who are some other ones out there? I didn't like the guy, I'm trying to remember his name for a long time, that talked with the lips. Not Mike Carey. There's another one. He would always say, 5-yard penalty, first down. Who is the ref with the lips? He's retired now. I got to look this up. This is killing me. I should know this. I should know this. Jerome Boger. That's who it is. 5-yard penalty. First down. Jerome Boger was awful. I do not miss Jerome Boger. I'm glad he's gone. Mike Carey was good. He was terrible on TV. Yeah, there were some other, Terry McCauley was another good one for a long time. Pacheco says, Ice Pop Pacheco in the chat says, Clay Martin works at my school. So you go to Jinx High School, huh? Interesting. Okay. Super Chat menu. First time Super Chatters get the KC chant. $5, do the Mahomes song. $10, take some shots. $20, get Bean Boozled with the spicy jelly bean. $50, we will do a beer bong. And if you guys want to get involved, I don't care if it's $1, if it's $50. We just get one Super Chat today. We're going to turn it up in here. We're going to crank it up a few notches. So make it happen. Feel free to send us a Super Chat. And we'd love to hear from you on today's program. All right. Next segment here in just a moment. Tex, why don't you tell people about the mailbag? We need some more questions, I'm pretty sure.
Yeah.
We're still 3 segments away, but Texter, tell the folks how they can get involved in the mailbag segment. Yes. Eventually. We've got a couple more segments to get to first. But eventually we will get there. Do you want that intro today? Coop wants me to intro the mailbag today saying it's time to touch our bags and drop our sacks. If that's what the people want, we will make it happen. Is that what the people want? Do they want to touch our bags and drop our sacks today? Because if so, we can. We can do that. Tony got his questions in the mailbag. That's
yes.
Good. All right, Tex, tell people how they can get involved here.
So I already saw a lot of people doing a good job, but to make my life easier, to make it possible for your question to be on the show, in our mailbag at the end of our live show, it'll be our 4th segment, so stick around. Use hashtag Chiefs, no space between the two, combine the two, just like you see on screen in the yellow right there, and the weigh-in option. Space, your question, and then it'll pull. I saw Tony did a good job. Let's see who else is in there. I see Terry Singleton, Paul, David, Austin, and Boomer Miller. See a couple. Good stuff there. Boomer, maybe ask more of a question. That's more of like an opinion, but, good stuff still using Chiefs. You got the right idea. And then if you super chat, which we have our super chat menu, I'll pop up one more time for you people out there. If you super chat or use hashtag Seahawks or hashtag Chiefs, apologies, my fault.
Different show.
Then you can get on the mailbag and make my life easier.
Yeah, Tony's telling people, don't make Tyler and Big Tex wait.
That's right. Tony's got the right idea.
Yes. Tony got his workout in today. For those curious.
Good stuff, Tony.
Yes. Always count on that. We need to get Tony and Big Tex in the gym together.
That'd be sick, bro.
With Ed Hockey Lee.
Oh, yeah. That'd be the most insane collab ever.
Oh,
yeah, dude. That dude can put up weight.
It's been a moment. Sean Hockey Lee's not ripped like his dad, right?
He's big, but you can't be as big as his dad. He's got the old man strength factor, too, going
That's
for him.
a real thing, too, by the way.
It for sure is. My dad still has it for sure. When he shakes my hand, I can feel like
my dad, too. My dad was a wrestler back in the day, and he's still got the old man strength.
Oh, yeah. And he definitely is stronger than his son. If they shake hands or arm wrestle, he's beating his son every time.
So Tony says he went to Planet Fitness. I'm not a fan of Planet Fitness because you can't grunt.
You can't grunt. You can't drop weights. You can't, do excessive,
the judgment-free zone.
Yeah. It's judgment-free except for, like, a meathead like me who would be in the, a gym rat.
You get kicked out pretty quick.
Yeah. I like those videos on YouTube where they have, like, the massive, like, steroided out bodybuilders who just go into a Planet Fitness, see how, who fastest can get kicked out. It's like 30 seconds for one guy. He just drops one bar. And they're like, excuse me, lunk alarm, and then they kick him out.
Yeah.
Weak.
Let's see. Tony says, it's not my gym, but Gold's Gym's my gym. So Gold's Gym is more for
Arnold and
those types.
He's an OG. It is. I used to go to the one in Flower Mound. I was a personal trainer there before I started the show, bro.
My Gold's Gym back home closed down, and it became a local gym.
Oh, really?
James says that Planet Fitness has the hottest chicks.
No.
That's cap.
Is it Gold's Gym that does?
Probably.
Yeah. It's the ones who take fitness really serious.
It's the ones that take fitness serious.
Because Planet Fitness, correct me if I'm wrong on
average
this.
Joe.
It's been a long time since I've been to a Planet Fitness, but that's the casual crowd.
Yes.
That is the New Year's resolutioners.
Correct.
Yep. And what's sucks too is my parents' gym was like a nice local, like mom and pop owned one or like a local one. It just got turned into a Planet Fitness.
Oh no.
I went back to Coppell. I was like, oh man, this sucks. Like, they got him.
Alper, you're an LA fitness guy, right?
I'm an LA fitness guy.
Like
You're
the
a Hollywood
basketball
guy.
court?
Yeah.
I love the basketball.
The
I
hoop?
started hooping again.
Okay.
I didn't hoop for 2 years.
Rusty
Back
Hooper.
into it.
Do they have a pool at the LA Fitness?
They do have a pool.
That's nice.
Okay. So you got a little bit of
Nice
everything.
sauna.
Okay.
Nice sauna too.
Little sauna, little pool, little
I saw,
hoops.
saw Reed there.
You saw Reed
Oh, did
Barkus there. Saw our
Okay.
coworker Reed Barkus there. Nice.
Up next, let's talk Travis Kelce. He went on the Pat McAfee Show. Dun, 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 dun. Football. Yes. We'll tell you what Kelce had to say and react to it in just a matter of moments. We get to our game preview coming up later, and then we get our mailbag as well. Use hashtag Chiefs or Super Chat to get on the mailbag portion of the show. Thank you. All right. Without further ado, let's hear from Travis Kelce on the Pat McAfee Show, starting right now. You're watching the Kansas City Chiefs Report, powered by Chat Sports. Tyler Jones here with you. Thanks for joining us. Chiefs tight end Travis Kelce was on the Pat McAfee Show this week. Dun, 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 dun. Football. He had plenty to say about your Kansas City Chiefs ahead of the AFC divisional round matchup against the Houston Texans. We will tell you everything that Kelce had to say and react to it coming up in just a matter of moments. Tyler Jones here with you. Thanks for joining us. I got a little challenge out there for the Chiefs Kingdom. I want to get to 66,000 subscribers on the channel before kickoff on Saturday. Uh-oh. You want to just take it from the top? All right. Hold on, folks. False start. We'll try again. Try again. Got a little hit ourselves on the graphics. That's okay. Try that again. Don't worry. It's all good, folks. Live show. Stuff happens sometimes. All right. Take two. Here we go. You're watching the Kansas City Chiefs Report, powered by Chat Sports. Tyler Jones here with you. Thanks for joining us. Chiefs tight end Travis Kelce was on the Pat McAfee Show on ESPN this week. Dun, 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 dun. Football. He had plenty to discuss with McAfee and the Heartland boys. We'll tell you what he had to say and react to it coming up in just a bit. Before we do, got a little challenge out there for the Kingdom. I want to see, can we get to 66,000 subscribers on the channel before kickoff? We are less than 400 away from reaching that next milestone. For the latest happenings on your favorite team throughout the playoffs and the offseason, we got you covered right here on the Kansas City Chiefs Report. Live shows, watch parties, including for this weekend's game against the Texans, all right here in addition to our daily news and rumors, breaking news, Q&A mailbags, and more. Subscribe now for free. YouTube.com/ChiefsTV. Kelce sounds off. He hit on a number of topics when it comes to the Chiefs getting ready for the Houston Texans, what he's expecting out of that game. Also talked about Andy Reid, the offensive line, a number of things. Let's go ahead and get started with what Kelce had to say. He said, I'm fired up. I'm feeling 22 all over again, baby. Let's go. I was hoping you caught that reference, baby. Oh, we did. We definitely did, Travis. Shout out Taylor. I got to say, I love the energy from Travis Kelce ahead of this postseason. He seems very relaxed. He seems excited about what's ahead. Kelce said that he's fired up, that he is rejuvenated, that he's well rested, that he's ready to go for what's ahead the next few weeks in this playoff run. And the question that's on everybody's minds, will we see Travis Kelce turn it on in the playoffs like he's done in the past? Statistically speaking, this was far from Travis Kelce's best season. But we said the same thing last year. And what did he do in the playoffs in 2024? Well, he had a fantastic playoffs last year as he accounted for 32 catches, 355 yards, and 3 touchdowns, averaging an 11.1 yards per reception. He was very, very good. And if the Chiefs get that version of Travis Kelce again, on top of having the other weapons like Noah Gray by his side, Hollywood Brown, Xavier Worthy, DeAndre Hopkins, Juju Smith-Schuster. I didn't even mention the running backs, Pacheco and Hunt and all that. Then they're going to be in really good shape. Kelce also had this to say, man, I'm ready to rock and roll, man. The biggest thing for me, man, that's a lot of mans, is trusting Coach Reid. He's been doing this a long, long time. When it comes to getting the bye week, we've had a few of them over the course of my career. For me, it's just making sure we put the pads on at least one time throughout the week, make sure we get our physicality in and get that in check. Play with some low pad level, low man wins throughout the week. And on top of that, put your feet up, watch some football, and get ready for some playoff action. He's saying all the right things. He is locked in, folks, when it comes to this playoff run. I love everything I've heard from Travis Kelce as far as that goes. Saying what needs to be said. That sounds like a guy that's been there, done that knows what it takes, that's ready to go. I love this attitude from Travis Kelce entering the postseason. We got more from Kelce. We'll get to it in a moment. But first, do you believe in Travis Kelce? Is he going to have another fantastic playoff run? Weigh in our pinned comment today. Type B for believe, D for don't. Chime in, let us know. Today's show is sponsored by Prize Picks. Prize Picks is the place to go for daily fantasy made easy. Here's how it works. Choose two or more players on any given category. Get the choice of more or less, whether you're talking fantasy points in football, rebounds in basketball, goals in hockey, all sorts of different categories to choose from. Go to prizepicks.com/CLNS. And on Prize Picks right now, you can win up to 1,000 times your money. Yes, you heard that right. 1,000 times your money. If you play $5, they'll give you $50 to spend for free. You don't even have to win to get the money, folks. Just go to prizepicks.com/CLNS. This week on Prize Picks, going with the more on Mahomes, 250.5 passing yards. Going with the more on Pacheco, 42.5 rushing yards. And going with Joe Mixon to have less than 60.5 rushing yards. If all three of these hit, that goes from $20 to $100 on Prize Picks. PrizePicks.com/CLNS. Promo code CLNS. The link is in the comments and the description of today's video. All right, moving on now. Let's get to what Travis Kelce also had to say in this segment with Pat McAfee. When asked about their upcoming opponents, as they'll face the Houston Texans, then if they win that, they'll get the winner of the Bills and Ravens game. Kelce said, whoever we got, we want their best. He doesn't want it handed easy to them. They want to play some difficult games and to earn every win from here on out. Kelce emphasized he loves going up against the best, and he said that he knows they're going to get Houston's best effort this upcoming week. They know they're in for a challenge, and he's embracing that challenge. And, you know, we hear it from Andy Reid every single week in his game preview press conference. Andy Reid, I'm going to give my best Andy Reid here. He says, we look forward to the challenge of playing the Houston Texans. We know they're a good football team. They're very well coached. And with that, the time's yours. Every week, same thing, right? Well, players are taking on Andy's mentality. They're embracing that challenge. And one question that's been on the minds of folks all across the National Football League this season, with the Chiefs squeaking by and winning these close games, how good is this Chiefs team really? How good do they stack up compared to these other Chiefs teams that have won Super Bowls here in this Mahomes-Kelce era? Kelce had this to say: we're finding different ways to win and more ways to win early on and throughout the season. I think last year we dealt with finding ways to lose, and, you know, we can learn from both. Learning from the games you win is a whole lot more fun, and I think we have a lot of confidence in this team. Kelce went on to say, we've heard all the chatter. He talked a lot about Rex Ryan. Rex Ryan throwing some shade at the Kansas City Chiefs. In the week prior, Kelce and McAfee were talking about how Rex Ryan was throwing shade at the Houston Texans, saying the Chargers got a bye week. And then what happened? The Texans came out guns a-blazing and just blew out the L.A. Chargers. Justin Herbert threw more interceptions that game than he did all season. It's very clear the motivation is there with this Chiefs team. They're playing with a chip on their shoulder. Mahomes got snubbed from the Pro Bowl and all that. I think that's a dangerous predicament for their opponents, that the Chiefs, even with winning 3 Super Bowl titles in this era, still have something to prove, that they're going to be playing with an edge. And Kelce brought up the point about how this Chiefs team is finding ways to win compared to last year. They were finding ways to lose. I think this is a better team than what we saw last year. Last year, they lost to the Raiders on Christmas. This year, they blew out a playoff team in the Steelers on the road on Christmas, folks. The Chiefs have won 16 one-score games in a row. They know how to win these close games. And they are 11-0 in one-possession games this season. All right? To me, some people will say it's lucky. I think this team, it shows that they are good at finding ways to win. Their best football, I'm of the belief, is still in front of them. You look at the latest odds from The Athletic. They're giving them about a 76% chance to make the AFC title game by beating the Houston Texans. Then their odds to beat the Texans and then beat the Bills-Ravens winner is about 45%. And then their odds to win the whole thing currently stands at about 23%. With all that said, it sounds crazy to me to even say this, but I feel like this Chiefs team is underrated. I feel like that everybody's doubting them, everybody's counting them out, and here we are. The Chiefs are going to play with that edge, and they're going to come in fired up, and I have every expectation that they're going to do it again. Are the Kansas City Chiefs underrated? Are they under the radar here? Is everybody sleeping on the Chiefs? What do you guys think? Type Y for yes, type in for no. Let us know in the comments section if you think this team is underrated right now. All right, let's wrap up more of what Travis Kelce had to say about this Chiefs team. He said that they've weathered the storm this season, that they have faced a lot of adversity. This team's dealt with a lot of injuries that they've overcome, and yet here they are, still standing in the divisional round. 15 wins later, this team is here ready to compete. And one thing that Kelce pointed to, he believes that the O-line situation has been figured out at this point, with adding DJ Humphries into the mix and Joe Thuney, of course, filling in when he's needed to at the left tackle spot. He feels like they're in a very good spot. Now, I'll say this. I appreciate the confidence from Travis Kelce in his offensive line. That's good to see. But I'm not all there like Kelce is and completely agree with his assessment on the offensive line. I still have some concerns about how DJ Humphries is going to hold up. And then if DJ Humphries doesn't look good, how quickly could they turn to Joe Thuney to move him back to left tackle before it hurts them too much? I still need to see more myself. However, they are in a much better spot than they were in that Super Bowl against the Tampa Bay Buccaneers when they were without both their starting offensive tackles, and we know how that ended up. You look at the offensive line depth chart, and basically this is the situation the Chiefs are in at the moment. DJ Humphries is your starting left tackle, Thuney at left guard, and then Humphries, Smith, and Taylor holding down the other 3 spots, right? And if Humphries can't hold his own, then you move Thuney to the left tackle spot. Kalindo goes to the starting left guard spot if they need to do so. Hopefully it doesn't get to that point. Hopefully they've figured something out, but that still remains to be seen. What's your confidence level in the Chiefs O-line right now? Scale it for me and let us know. 1 through 10. I'm about a 6.5. I'll go 6.5. Let me know in the comments section. For continuing Chiefs coverage, subscribe now to the Kansas City Chiefs Report. I'm Tyler Jones. Thanks for joining us. We'll see you next time. All right. Halfway home. Oh, and we do have a super chat. All right. Super chat menu. We also have a super chat that we'll get to here in just a moment. First time super chatters get the KC chant. $5 do Mahomes song. $10 take some shots. $20 get bean boozled with the spicy jelly bean. $50 we will do a beer bong. $sign next to the chat box if you would like to contribute and take part in today's show that way. Our first super chat of the day comes from Lucid Chart 32, and we'll include this in the mailbag too. Do you think the Chiefs will re-sign Trey Smith? Ugh. I don't know. I really don't know, because he's going to be the most expensive offensive guard on the entire market, getting, $22+ million. And I don't know where the Chiefs are going to find that money. I think they want to. I think they certainly want to bring him back, but I don't know if they're going to have the money to necessarily bring him back. They will give it a valiant effort. They will try, but remains to be seen. Honestly, if they have to choose between Trey Smith and Nick Bolton, I'm keeping Trey Smith before I'd keep Nick Bolton. I think that guard spot's more important than the linebacker position. I can find more guys to play linebacker than I can to play offensive guard. But will they do it? It's going to be costly. It's not going to be cheap. We'll see. But we'll talk about that more in the mailbag. Lucid, thanks for the super chat there. Much appreciated. All right. That looks good. Cool. Let's get to our game preview segment. Mailbag to follow. Get your questions in using hashtag Chiefs or super chatting to get on the mailbag portion of today's show. Another super chat from Lucid. We'll get to that real quick before we start the mailbag segment. Or start the game preview segment. And then we'll get to the mailbag. We're about halfway home on today's show, folks. Lucid writes in, thank you for always making amazing content. Hey, it's our pleasure. We work hard around here. I got guys like Big Tex that make it easy on me. And we certainly appreciate it. It's a lot of fun doing this job and love getting to talk about the Kansas City Chiefs. So appreciate you all for supporting the show and making this all possible. We couldn't do it without you guys. So thank you for the thank you there, the thank you wishes. All right, without further ado, Chiefs, Texans. Let's talk about it. We'll go over our keys to victory. We'll break down the injury report. I'll give you my prediction as well coming up at the end of today's show. AFC divisional round, Chiefs and Texans. Let's preview it right now here on this live edition of the Kansas City Chiefs Report as we continue right now. You're watching the Kansas City Chiefs Report, powered by Chat Sports. Tyler Schultz here with you. Thanks for joining us. It is playoff time in Kansas City. Finally, the Kansas City Chiefs take the field as they will square off with the Houston Texans. Coming up on today's show, I'll go over my 5 keys to victory. We'll break down the injury report, and I'll give you my prediction as well in just a matter of moments. The Chiefs, 7.5-point favorites. The over-under set at 42. The Chiefs coming off the bye week. The Texans had a very strong win this past week against the LA Chargers. We saw these two teams meet just a few weeks ago on December 21st, right before Christmas. The Chiefs had a very strong win. They were able to defeat the Houston Texans 27-19 in the last meeting, a game that was never really in question. The Chiefs played very well throughout the day, and they were able to get multiple turnovers off of Texans quarterback C.J. Stroud as well. If you're ready for Chiefs game day, I need you to spam C in the comments section. I want to see as many C's in the chat. If we get at least 300 C's in the comments, that guarantees victory. So I need everybody to do their part. Spam C, get the C's going. Jeremy Chuggs, host of Texans Today, said there's no way you guys can get 300 comments on today's video. I said, Jeremy, we're going to prove you wrong. Get in that comment section as if you're in your seats at Arrowhead Stadium. Be loud and proud. I need more comments than we've ever had on any video all season. Get those C's started, and we will continue here on the Chiefs Report. Let's go over the injury report for the Kansas City Chiefs. This is as of Tuesday's recording. Chris Jones with a calf injury, questionable. He seems like he's progressing nicely. All these players, according to Andy Reid, are at least on the right track for Saturday's matchup. Jawan Taylor with the knee injury, he is questionable, as is Isaiah Pacheco with the ribs injury. He remains questionable as well. 3 more players for you. Trent McDuffie with the knee injury is questionable. Chamari Connor with a knee injury, also questionable. And then Jaylen Watson coming back from injured reserve. They opened up the 21-day window on him. We did hear Andy Reid say that he could play in some capacity, potentially speaking, barring any setbacks this week. But for now, he remains questionable. 2 players on the injury report for the Houston Texans. Cade Stover is out for the year. He goes to injured reserve with a collarbone injury. While Shaq Mason with a knee MCL injury, the offensive guard, he is questionable for them as well. What's it going to take to defeat the Houston Texans? Let's start with the quarterback position for the Houston Texans. The Stroud boys, they're going to be in full force this weekend. And I think one of the things the Chiefs did such a good job of in this first matchup a couple weeks ago was forcing C.J. Stroud into mistakes. And I got to tell you, I like C.J. Stroud. I've been very impressed with what he's done in his first 2 seasons in the NFL. But his big weakness has been interceptions. And we've seen from C.J. Stroud this season, he's had 4 games with 2 or more interceptions. That's tied for second most in the National Football League. So what that tells me is that if you can get that first turnover, if you can get C.J. Stroud rattled a little bit, then there's a good chance that's going to lead into another turnover as well. Stroud did not play his best game the last time he went up against the Kansas City Chiefs. He was 23 of 39 for 244 yards, 2 touchdowns, and 2 interceptions. And C.J. Stroud, I'll say this, he really hasn't been the same guy this season as he was last season. Granted, they've had a lot of injuries, losing receivers left and right. We know what happened to Tank Dell in that Chiefs game a few weeks ago. Obviously, Stephon Diggs went out, and he's been gone for the season. But you look at the statistics, C.J. Stroud took a step back this year. Just 20 touchdowns, 12 interceptions, threw for over 3,700 yards, completion percentage around 63%. And when we talk about turnovers and forcing C.J. Stroud into mistakes, the Chiefs' defense has done a very good job at creating turnovers in the final 3 weeks of the regular season. From weeks 15 to 17, the Chiefs forced 10 total turnovers in that stretch, which was a very good number for the Chiefs of what they were able to do in that time period. Forcing turnovers was an issue for this Chiefs team for much of the season, but they got really good, got much better in those 3 weeks from weeks 15 to 17, forcing 10 total turnovers. Who do you got? I'll give you my prediction coming up later, but want to hear from you guys first. You going with the Chiefs or are you going with the Texans? Type KC for Chiefs, type HOU for Houston. Weigh in the comment section. Let us know. We'll be live here on the Chiefs Report on Saturday for the Chiefs and Texans. Our coverage will begin at 2:30 Central Time. Kickoff at 3:30. We'll do our hour-long pregame show. We'll react to the game in real time, have some drinks on hand, enjoy ourselves. Don't miss out. Chiefs and Texans divisional round watch party live right here on the Chiefs Report. I'll be here. Big Tex will be here. You better be here as well. Subscribe now. Turn on notifications and make sure and join us coming up this Saturday right here on the channel. One guy I'm watching for is Isaiah Pacheco. We have not seen Isaiah Pacheco look the same since he came back from injury, off of injured reserve, as he's shown a few flashes. We saw what he did in that Raiders game when he had the longest run of any running back this season, but hasn't quite looked like his old self. In the last couple of playoff runs, Pacheco has been a difference maker. We've seen this Chiefs offense establish the run to open up the passing game. Pacheco's been a big part of that. Look what he did last year in the playoffs. Ran for over 300 yards, had 3 touchdowns. He was really good in the postseason last year. But this year hasn't been a great year for Isaiah Pacheco, as he's been limited to under 4 yards a carry, just 1 touchdown score, 310 yards. I'm expecting Isaiah Pacheco to look like his old self. He's had plenty of rest to recover. I think Pacheco is going to show up and show out and be a difference maker for this Chiefs team, and they're going to win with their run game with Pacheco and Kareem Hunt as far as that goes. Today's show is sponsored by Game Time. Game Time is the place to go for the best seats, the lowest prices guaranteed. Whether you're looking for tickets to sporting events, concerts, theater productions, comedy shows, and more, Game Time's got you covered, including tickets to see your Kansas City Chiefs in action. Looking for tickets to that divisional round game? We got those for you, folks. You choose the event you want to go to. They got the prices listed. You choose your seat. See if you like that seat or not. Get the visual. And then you're checking out on Game Time with Apple Pay, Google Pay, Venmo, all major credit card providers. I have saved a lot of money on Game Time, folks. with the last-minute tickets. The prices go down the closer it gets to when that game starts. Game Time is focused, folks, on all the important stuff with Game Time. As you can believe, Game Time has a new feature called Game Time Picks that makes getting tickets for events even easier. Game Time Picks filters out the fluff to show you only incredible deals and great seats, so you don't have to waste time searching through thousands of tickets to find the best value. They have their super deals. If you see a super deal, that's a deal you don't want to pass up on. They have their seat views. You get the visual, see what that seat is like. You can customize your spot as well. Download the Game Time app, create an account, use code CHATSPORTS, $20 off your first purchase. Terms apply. Again, create an account and redeem code CHATSPORTS for $20 off. Download Game Time today. Last-minute tickets, lowest prices guaranteed. The link is in the comments and description of today's video. Game Time, proud partner of the Kansas City Chiefs Report. Number 3 on our keys to victory, a big day from Chris Jones. We need the CEO of Sack Nation to step up and have a big day this past week. And you talk about the opportunity that Chris Jones has in front of him. C.J. Stroud has taken 52 sacks this season. That's the second most among all quarterbacks in the National Football League in 2024. And although Chris Jones' numbers, and we'll show you these here in just a bit, are down from what they've been in the past, Chris Jones has still been very effective. And you think about it, he's taken on more double teams than he has his entire career. In 2024, he's had 38 pressures. That's the 6th most of any player in the NFL and the 2nd most among interior defensive linemen in the National Football League. So far this season, what we've seen from Chris Jones, he's accounted for 5 total sacks, 1 forced fumble, 20 QB hits, 9 TFLs, and 37 tackles. I think Chris Jones has a big opportunity to shine in this matchup here against Houston to really get after him. But it's not Chris Jones. We need George Karlaftis. We need Charles Omenihu, those other guys, to really get the job done and get after C.J. Stroud. Do you believe in Chris Jones? Is the CEO of Sack Nation going to have a big day? Type B for believe, D for don't. Let us know in the comments section. Number 4 on our keys to victory, finding an X factor. I think it's going to be crucial for this Kansas City Chiefs team. Throughout the season, when we've had this conversation, we've talked a lot about Xavier Worthy. We've talked a lot about Noah Gray. And those guys, I can count on every week. They're no longer X factors. The definition for me of an X factor is a guy that necessarily isn't somebody that steps up every week, but when they do, they can be a difference maker. And there's 2 guys in particular that I'm watching for. That's DeAndre Hopkins and Marquise Hollywood Brown. And they're going to be competing amongst each other when it comes to targets and for playing time to see who should be on the field and who should be a bigger factor in the offense. And they both have reason to think that they should get that opportunity. DeAndre Hopkins, we've seen look very good this year. Had some big games against the Bucs, against the Raiders. And I think that we're going to get another big one in this playoff run, maybe 2, maybe all 3 potentially. Marquise Brown, when it comes to him, this is a guy that I think our thought is that he's a vertical threat. But so far in the 2 games he's played, he has done a very good job of being a good possession receiver, playing that Rashee Rice role of sorts, averaging 10 yards a reception off of 9 catches for 91 yards this season. And for DeAndre Hopkins, this game should be a little personal, playing against his former team there, the Houston Texans. And Andy Reid, he's been there, done that before. DeAndre Hopkins has his trust, his faith in DeAndre Hopkins as well. D-Hop said this about Andy Reid. Going up against those guys in Houston, they gave us some tough battles, so I'm always just admired him from afar. I haven't been here long, but Coach Reid has definitely pushed me as a player. He's always watching everything that you do, and you want to go out and be perfect. You'll not be perfect, but you want to try your best. There's a standard that he has, and you'll feel it in the locker room. I'm grateful to be here. I'm still taking it in. Who will be the Chiefs' X factor against the Houston Texans? We talked about a couple names. Who comes to mind? Weigh in the comments section. Give me a name that you would like to see step up for Kansas City this week. Last but not least on our keys to victory for the Chiefs is going to be the run defense in slowing down Joe Mixon. The former Oklahoma Sooner and Cincinnati Bengal has had a very good year with the Houston Texans this season. He has racked up a total of 8 100-yard-plus rushing games this season, including 106 yards this past week against the LA Chargers. And when you look at Joe Mixon, this guy is a threat in a multitude of ways. Not just the run game, but also the receiving game as well. He's had over 300 yards receiving this season, averaging 4.1 yards per carry, 12 total touchdowns. The Chiefs' defense, they're going to need to do what they can to take away Joe Mixon and limit his impact because he has been very, very good, especially as they try to get C.J. Stroud settled in the toughest environment he's ever seen. The Chiefs' run defense this season, they are averaging giving up about 102 rushing yards per game. That's 5th best in the NFL. So although this matchup jumps out at you of how good the Texans are at running the football with Joe Mixon, the run defense has been a strength for the Kansas City Chiefs, and you hope that continues again. To recap, our keys to victory for the Kansas City Chiefs. Number 1, force C.J. Stroud into mistakes. It'd be great if you could get an extra possession or two for that offense. We need the playoff version of Isaiah Pacheco to show up and show out like we've seen in years past. Need a big day from Chris Jones, the CEO of Sack Nation. I want to see him get those pressures, get after C.J. Stroud. Find an X factor. Find a guy that we typically don't talk about every single week, whether it's a D-Hop, whether it's a Marquise Hollywood Brown, somebody to have a big game. And then last on our list, slowing down Joe Mixon, try to limit his impact. Need the run defense to step up and the Chiefs to really show out there. My pick, I'm going with the Chiefs to get a touchdown win. I think they win this game 27-20. I think this game is close for 3 quarters, and then the Chiefs put the hammer down in the 4th quarter to get the win 27-20 to advance to the AFC title game to take on the winner of the Ravens and the Bills. If you're ready for a Chiefs win, spam W in the comment section. Get those W's going, and we will see you on Saturday afternoon for Chiefs and Texans right here on the Kansas City Chiefs Report. There we go. Who do you got? You going with the Chiefs or you going with the Houston Texans? Get those predictions in the chat and let us know who you think is going to win this week. You heard my prediction. Big Tex is going to rejoin me here. I want to get Big Tex's prediction, who he likes between the Chiefs and Texans. But let us know, who do you got? Tony's going KC. I see Cole typing the W's. Duff, among others. We got Cole saying KC, Maurice saying KC, Paul saying KC. Let us know who you got, Chiefs or Texans this week. Weigh in the chat and let us know who you think is going to get the job done. Another super chat coming in here, and I owe them a home song for this. Tyler, who do you have played in the Super Bowl and the scoreboard? I got the Chiefs against the Eagles. I think it's Chiefs and Eagles. And, I mean, score prediction, it's a little early to be giving a score prediction, but I'd be going with the Chiefs. Probably a high-scoring game, probably like 31-27, something like that. That's what I would lean towards. But I do have the Chiefs winning it all. We'll see how it plays out. I owe you the Mahomes song. So hopefully we're singing this a lot over the next couple of weeks. But here you go, Lucid. Take me home, Pat Mahomes, to the place we belong. Kansas City to New Orleans. Take me home, Pat Mahomes. I knocked down my water. Luckily, it's just water, thankfully. Tex, sorry about that, my guy. Oh, yeah. Sorry about that. Lucid, thanks for that $5 super chat. Let us know what your predictions are for this game. Going with the Chiefs. You just put in this. Oh, that's fine, too. KC or Houston. I see Janice going KC. I see Paul going KC. Tim going KC. What else here? Tony says KC, a late birthday win. Hey, that sounds good to me. A late birthday win. I like that. Tony says, I don't take the Texans lightly, and if we win, we will take on the Bills or Ravens likely either. Here, I'll get this. I'll get that. Yeah. I think that Ravens-Bills game is going to be very good. And I like the fact that the Chiefs are playing Saturday this week so they can get an extra day's rest on whoever their opponent is, whether it's the Ravens or whether it's the Bills. And also you factor in the Ravens and Bills also have to travel as well. So that'll be a nice advantage. I know that, playing Saturday isn't always ideal, but when you think about that, if you win, you get the extra rest and the opponent has to travel, then that bodes pretty good. So we'll see how that goes. Lucid with another super chat. We'll see. Oh, we're good. We're good. I'll get the rest after the show, too. Sorry about that. Lucid with another super chat. He says, $2. Thank you. I appreciate the song. Big fan. Appreciate you, Lucid. Thanks for sending that super chat and making that happen. Mailbag time. Get your questions in. Use hashtag Chiefs or super chat to get on the mailbag portion of the show. Our final segment before we wrap up and call it a day here on this Tuesday afternoon. Don't miss out. Chiefs and Texans live on Saturday beginning at 2:30 Central Time. We will see you guys then. Should be a lot of fun. Can't wait. And hopefully we're rooting on the Chiefs' victory together here on the channel. Yeah, we'll include that one in the mailbag. Yeah, that looks good. Yep. We're all good there. Cool. All right. Do we need some more questions in the mailbag? How are we doing on mailbag questions? Timothy, Paul, Janice, Alvin, did you guys get questions in the mailbag? Did you get your mailbag questions in? Use hashtag Chiefs or Super Chat to get those mailbag questions in. And we'll answer those here in just a few moments. But make sure you get those questions in. We can always use more questions. We can never have enough questions for the mailbag that we'll bring you here in just a bit. So stay tuned for that here as we continue on the Chiefs. One or two more? Okay, Tex says we need one or two more questions. Two would be really good. I'm putting a minute on the clock. I need two questions. And as Tony says, don't make us wait. We got places to be. We don't want to be here forever waiting around. So we need you guys to start submitting your questions. Use hashtag Chiefs or Super Chat to get on the mailbag portion of today's show. Get your questions in. Paul, Alvy, Janice, Maurice, I need you guys in the mailbag. This is your chance to get on the show. Your chance to get on the show. Cole submitted a question. That's good. Paul, did you get a question in? Tim, did you get a question in? I need two more. Heck, even if you've already submitted a question, you can send in another. I just need one or two more. Let's see. Tony says he would invite us to his birthday party if he could. Well, Tony, I wish I could be there, but I hope you have a great birthday. What kind of birthday cake you having, Tony? There's no way Tony's missing out on birthday cake. I could pretty much guarantee that there will be birthday cake at Tony's birthday party. I'm a chocolate cake, white icing type guy. That's usually my move with birthday cake. What type of birthday cake you like, Tex? I didn't get your prediction for Saturday either.
Oh, yes. Prediction? Let's go 28-14 Chiefs win.
28-14. I like that.
Smack that
ass.
Houston ass, yeah. Tell him who's boss. Set the tone.
There we go.
Two answers.
For
One,
the birthday cake
yes,
question for
exactly.
people
Two
wondering.
answers. One flavor for birthday cake, red velvet
Ooh.
with buttercream icing.
Isn't red velvet just food coloring?
Pretty much. But the icing is typically buttercream, which is not something
Right.
you'd associate with like chocolate ice cream.
Yeah.
So that's kind of what makes it different. I think it's also like you look at it and you see a different color, so it excites you a little
Sure.
bit. It's like a visual thing. The other one is even better. It's cookies and cream.
Ooh.
Cookies and cream cake.
I love ice cream cake.
Yeah, like cookies and cream ice cream cake is the
You
best.
go to the Dairy Queen.
Oh, yeah.
get you that ice cream cake. The Dairy Queen, she's going to take care of you.
Sadly, the one
I
in my
mean-
hometown shut down.
She's better than Queen Elizabeth.
She is.
She's better than Queen Esther.
She better than Brahms?
Well, I was just naming queens
Oh, okay.
that came
That's
to
fair.
mind. The Dairy Queen's my favorite queen. Sorry, Esther. Sorry, Queen Elizabeth. The Dairy Queen's got my heart. True Teller, that's a good question, but you didn't use hashtag Chiefs.
What the heck?
Excuse me. Hashtag Chiefs or Super Chat. Same with you, Duff. Another good question. But you didn't use hashtag Chiefs. You got to use hashtag Chiefs in your question. How many times do I have to say this? How many times do I have to say this? There we go. Pino Fire's got it.
Like, tell Duff to.
Mike's got it.
Duff, use hashtag Chiefs.
Duff,
My guy.
hashtag Chiefs.
Great question, but I can't pull it unless you use hashtag Chiefs, my boy.
All right. We got enough questions now, though.
There
All
we
right.
go. Good stuff.
All right. Lucid says, tell Big Tex I love his impressions. An amazing job. You're incredible. Hear that,
Hey.
Tex? You're incredible.
Appreciate you, bro. Appreciate you, man. Who said that?
Lucid did.
Lucid, my guy. Appreciate you, bro.
You want to give him an impression?
I'll give him an impression. I'll hop
Man,
on.
instead of the Mahomes song, let's give him an impression since he loves your impression so much.
Okay.
What are you thinking, Tex? What one do you want to give Lucid here?
I could do the Shrek bit.
Oh, Shrek. There we go.
I'll do the onion scene.
Yes, the onion scene.
I got you. I
We'll
gotta
do that
like-
for Lucid, then we'll do our mailbag.
Sounds good. Cool.
All right, this one's for Lucid for the $5 super chat.
Donkey! Ogres are like onions. They have layers. They're complex. Donkey, get out of me swamp!
I still don't even know what that means. Ogres having layers like onions.
I think they're just trying to go way too deep.
That's a
on
very
that for a kids movie. It's crazy.
yeah for a kids movie. Yeah, very out there. What would Shrek say about Mahomes and the Chiefs' chances this week against the Texans?
I got you. Let me pull up his super chat real quick.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
Mike says nice.
Thanks, bro. Give me 1 sec, Lucid. I'm getting
There
to
we
it
go.
right now. Beast mode.
There it is.
It says, tell Big Tex. Yeah, appreciate you, man.
So what would Shrek say about Mahomes and the Chiefs' chances against the Texans?
Patrick, get in KC and beat the Texans. Ah, no. I think it's just like a thick Scottish accent because
Yes.
it's Mike Myers.
Mike Myers.
Mike Myers.
Groovy, baby.
I just realized that two of my impressions are the same actor. That
Same
makes-
actor, yes.
Mike Myers. I like a Mike Myers movie, I guess.
You're a big Mike Myers guy.
Oh, yeah. Appreciate you, Lucid.
The Chiefs. The groovy, baby.
Groovy, baby.
Patrick Mahomes. Groovy, baby.
Yeah, baby. Oh, good stuff.
Oh, yes. Mahomes and Patrick and Brittany. New baby yesterday. Groovy, baby. A groovy, baby.
Groovy golden, baby.
Groovy golden, baby. I should have had you do that in the segment yesterday when we shouted him out.
That would have been good.
I wish I would have thought of that earlier. All right, now it's mailbag time. Let's do this final segment, and then we'll wrap up, and we will call it a day, and we will sign off from there. Final segment, and we'll wrap up. Make sure to join us coming up Saturday. Chiefs and Texans live right here on the Kansas City Chiefs Report. Without further ado, mailbag time. Use hashtag Chiefs or Super Chat to get on the mailbag portion of today's show. All right, here we go. Mailbag time begins right now. On today's show, I will explain why the Chiefs are about to pull something special off here in this postseason. I think Xavier Worthy is going to play a critical part. It is time to touch our bags and drop our sack on this mailbag edition of the Kansas City Chiefs Report. Tyler Jones here with you. Thanks for joining us. Before we go any further in today's show, I want to make sure not only you are subscribed, but also that you have your notifications turned on, that you're a part of what we call the Noti Gang here on the Chiefs Report. Those are the folks that not only are subscribed, but are notified when we have new content, whether it's breaking news, a new video, a live show, whatever it may be. And you may be wondering, how can I be a part of the next mailbag segment? Well, if you subscribe and turn on notifications, then you'll be alerted when we have new content here on the channel. So subscribe now. Hit that Noti Bell icon. If you're part of the Noti Gang, spam Noti Gang in the comments section, and we'll get started here with today's program. Our first question in the mailbag this week. Lucid writes, do you think the Chiefs will re-sign Trey Smith? Oh, I want to say yes. I really want to. I just don't know about the money, if it's going to be there. I don't know if Trey Smith's willing to play for less, in all honesty. He's going to be the highest paid guard in the league when he gets paid here in the next few weeks. And with the Chiefs' cap situation and all the guys they have to pay, I don't know if the money is going to be there where the Chiefs can pay him as much as anyone else out there. Now, with that said, let's say you have a decision to make. What if you can pay Trey Smith, but you can't pay Nick Bolton and have to choose one or the other? I think it's easier to replace a linebacker than it is to replace a guard. I would pay Trey Smith before I'd pay Nick Bolton, personally speaking. In a perfect world, you'd like to keep him. We know Brett Veach has made it a priority. He wants to get a deal done to keep Trey Smith around. He wants to keep Nick Bolton around, but the market has been pretty expensive when it comes to guards as of late. So I don't know. I'm hopeful, but we'll see. It's a very good question there, Lucy. Big Red fan writes in, who is a guy that you expect to step up that we're not talking about? I think Xavier Worthy has been written off by a lot of people here in 2024. What's the thing that we've talked about here on the program over the last couple of months? All the haters and the losers and the naysayers that say he's a gadget player. Well, I think that's very disrespectful to call him a gadget player. He has done it all for the Chiefs. He's been very effective in the receiving game. He's had more snaps and more targets than any other receiver for the Kansas City Chiefs this year. They've also used him effectively in the rushing game as well, kind of like a Deebo Samuel type player. And he's got enough snaps under his belt where I don't view Xavier Worthy as a rookie anymore. He's a grown man now. He's a grown-ass man, folks. And I think that Xavier Worthy is going to step up. I think he looked really good in the second half of the year that he came along nicely. I'm all in on Xavier Worthy. I think this Chiefs team is going to do something special, and Xavier Worthy is going to be a big reason why. Because he is worthy. He's going to help put the hammer down for the Kansas City Chiefs here this postseason. Do you trust Xavier Worthy? I do. I'm typing T for trust. If you disagree, type D for don't. Weigh in. Let us know if you trust Xavier Worthy, if he's going to step up come playoff time or not. Today's show is sponsored by Prize Picks. Prize Picks is the place to go for daily fantasy made easy. Here's how it works. You choose two or more players on any given category, get the choice of more or less, whether you're talking fantasy points in football, rebounds in basketball, goals in hockey, all sorts of different categories to choose from. Go to prizepicks.com/CLNS, promo code CLNS. Get $50 to play for free when you play $5. You don't even have to win to get the money. Just go to prizepicks.com/CLNS, promo code CLNS. This week on Prize Picks, I'm going with Patrick Mahomes. They have more than 250.5 passing yards. Going with Isaiah Pacheco to have more than 42.5 rushing yards. And Joe Mixon to have less than 60.5 rushing yards. And on Prize Picks right now, folks, you can win up to 1,000 times your money. Yes, you heard that right. PrizePicks.com/CLNS, promo code CLNS. The link is in the comments and description of today's video. Prize Picks, proud partner of the Kansas City Chiefs Report. Run your game. The link is in the comments and description of today's video. My dog Mahomes writes in, would you rather face the Bills or the Ravens in the AFC Championship game? All right, so I have two answers here. Listen closely on this. I rather beat the Buffalo Bills. I think that game would mean a little more to get some revenge on the Buffalo Bills, who obviously beat the Chiefs earlier in the regular season and all of that. I think when it comes to who I rather beat, yeah, it would be them. But who's a better matchup? I think it's the Baltimore Ravens. I think the Ravens are an easier out than the Buffalo Bills are because I think the Bills' offense is a bigger threat than the Ravens' offense. They can go more toe-to-toe with the Chiefs in a shootout than the Baltimore Ravens can. So, twofold there. If it's for pride, it's beating the Bills. If it's for a better matchup, I would go with the Ravens here. First, you got to take care of the Houston Texans. And I feel very confident about this weekend's game. I think the Chiefs are better in every way. Quarterback, the receivers, the defense, the coach, it's a mismatch across the board. I think it works out very well that the Chiefs don't have to play both the Bills and the Ravens, that they get one or the other. Compared to these two teams, that I have every reason to think that's going to be a dogfight between the Ravens and the Bills here. The line is even. It's a pick 'em between these two. It's a much tougher path. Think about this, all right? You're the Chiefs. You're playing the Texans, not having to play the Ravens or Bills, which you much rather have between any of those three. And you're played on Saturday. You win that, you get an extra day off compared to the Ravens and Bills who are playing Sunday. And then the Ravens and Bills winner also has to travel on the road to Kansas City. I know that we don't like the Saturday games, but if you take care of business against the Texans, then you got a huge leg up on that potential opponent you face. Who would you rather face? You heard my answers. For pride, I'd rather face the Bills. Matchup-wise, I'd rather face the Ravens. What's your answer? Type buff for the Bills. Type ball, B-A-L, for the Ravens. Let us know which team you rather face in the AFC Championship game, assuming the Chiefs beat the Houston Texans. Cole writes in, if Jaylen Watson plays, do the Chiefs start him? And if so, will he be on a snap count? So, very good question there, Cole. And at the time of this recording, the last thing we heard from Andy Reid was that Jaylen Watson could very well play and that he wasn't sure of how much he would play. So that sounds like a snap count to me. That sounds like there is a limitation there. But obviously, as the week goes on, things could change, potentially speaking, depending on how he looks in practice and how up to speed he is. But at the very least, that's a good sign. And even if he is on a snap count, that's a whole lot better than not having Jaylen Watson at all. Even if he's out there just a little bit, that'll make a huge difference compared to the fall-off we saw without Watson in the second half of the season. So I would guess it will be a snap count of sorts, but it will still make a difference. And I would think if you win this week, you're probably getting him up to full speed, a full go in the AFC Championship game from there on out. Next question comes from Bert. Bert wants to know, what is the Chiefs' cap space situation for 2025? Well, according to the folks at Spotrac, that number is about $21.7 million right now. And you think about your draft picks usually take up about $10 million of that. So in theory, you got about $11-12 million potentially to work with right now. And then obviously you're going to cut some guys and you try to clear some money and all that. With that said, it's not a ton to work with. And it's going to present some challenges to try to get new deals done for Trey Smith and Nick Bolton both. We'll see how that goes. Chills NFL writes in, do the Chiefs repeat? Yes. I do believe the Chiefs will repeat. I'm very confident. This team's playing better than last year's team. And last year's team had a tougher path to get the Super Bowl. They still won the whole thing. This year's team's better, and they have an easier path. They're well-rested. I think they're in great shape. Yes, I do think the Chiefs will three-peat. Will the Chiefs win the Super Bowl? What do you guys think? Type Y for yes, in for no. Wait in the comments section. Let us know if you think they will get it done. Appreciate you joining us here on this edition of the Kansas City Chiefs Report. For continuing Chiefs coverage, subscribe now for free. I'm Tyler Jones. Thanks for joining us. We'll see you next time. All right. Yeah. All right, we are about to sign off. Appreciate you guys being here with us. Quick plug. Join us coming up on Saturday for Chiefs and Texans. We'll be live at 2:30. I'll be here. Big Tex will be here. So don't miss out on that live right here on the Kansas City Chiefs Report. We will see you then. Folks, appreciate you joining us. Hope you have a great rest of your Tuesday and an awesome week. in the kingdom. Playoff tab in Kansas City. Can't wait to cover it all right here on the Kansas City Chiefs Report. For Big Tex, I'm Tyler Jones. Appreciate y'all joining us. Have a great night. We'll see you on Saturday.